Hey everyone, Joy back again for another daily VOD review. Today we're going to be looking at H2K versus Splice from yesterday's action in the EU LCS. So let's get into it here, let's get into the VOD review. So here we've got the casters. Yeah, waiting for the game to load up, take a sip of my drink. That's good coffee. Okay. Let's have a look here. Okay, so we've got Callista. Pretty good blue side ban here. Callista's just a very strong champion at the moment. Alessandra, good flex pick ban. LeBlanc, I think that's a target ban at Sencooks. I think he's a very good LeBlanc player. I think he carried them really hard in one game. So then the Lulu. Lulu's a very good red side ban. That's a really nice flex pick for H2K. You can shut a lot of things down, enable a lot of things. Let's see. Num num num. So, if you're a coffee manufacturer out there and you need a sponsor, I'm happy to take your sponsorship money for coffee. Gangplank. Would I ban Gangplank? Maybe, because they've taken the Lulu off the board. It might be okay to do that. Because it does give you kind of. If you're not willing to play around it, then I think it's a fine ban. Personally, yeah, if you're going for the Corki, you need to ban out the Gangplank there. So that's smart. You can't give up the Gangplank. So they're going to prioritise the Graves into the thing. I think you have to take Braum here. You need to shut down this poke. Instead of Nidalee. Like, there's so much better jungle picks. You can just pick Rek'Sai and go around the map. I mean, yeah, I like the Poppy, but I think you can just hold back on the Graves. Well, no, maybe you can't, but yeah, no, I think you have to take Braum there. You have to shut down the possibility of a poke comp, especially with Alistar off the table. Braum's priority goes way up my list. If Alistar's gone, you take Braum, because Braum, Nautilus, and Trundle are the three supports that need to be being picked more, because they provide large zone control, things like that. And Tahm Kench, if Tahm Kench is still on the field, people seem to be stop banning Tahm Kench, and it's very surprising. So they get the Lucian for Forgiven, I think, anyway. I remember some people picked it top lane in a game like yesterday. I was like, what? So, but these can still be flexed around. I mean, as much as people seem to not remember, Lucian probably could survive in the mid lane on his own. Solo lane Lucian could be a thing. So, you know, you need some sort of assassin here now. But they've got the Tahm Kench, which completely shuts down assassins, bar like Ahri. But still, like, this is why the Tam with the double AD comp is so strong. Which is another reason why I think on the side of Splice, I think you have to go Tam Braum, because A, you shut down their double AD comp like twice. You shut down double AD, you enable double AD, and you get rid of the poke comp. Like, yeah, they might get something else, but you've completely shut down their comp. Okay, so they get Ezreal, which now, if I'm H2K now, you go for Braum here, in my opinion. I haven't seen this game, so I don't actually know what they go for, but I'd go for a Braum. Oh, I forgot to put the music on. Oh well. Well, let me pause it here and get the music up. Can I? 1 second, guys. One second, bear with me. It's the second time using this, so yeah. Bear with me, so unprofessional, I'm really sorry. Okay, there we go. So, let's go back to the game. Really sorry about this. Okay, so they took the Ari. The Ari I'm okay with. Been thinking about Ari in my head. She kind of provides a bit of everything. It's like picking Lucian into the bot lane. I'm okay with an Ari, but I mean, I don't like this Ezreal pickup with the double AD because he doesn't provide enough. He doesn't shove towers as well as other AD carries like a Corki, like a Lucian, like a Misfortune. And he doesn't really, like, he doesn't wave clear. He doesn't think. This is why Corki's the best double AD carry in the game at the moment. Like Corki Callista, you're just gonna have some fun times in that game. Ezreal's just a poor man's Corki, in my opinion. I just don't think. I think he can be picked well. I just don't think he is being picked well, and that's my problem with the Corki pickups. It's the same with like Elise. Elise, like at the moment, this Elise is okay. Like, if she goes tank, you've got a tank to back it up. It's okay because you've got 2 threats on the team, especially with Forgiven being on Lucian. Like he's like almost 1.5 threats. That's how good he is at the champion. But I mean, yeah, like, do you go full DPS Elise here? I think you have to go full tank Elise because you have to be making the picks for your team here. Tahm Kench is not an engage, and yeah, so that's just my opinion on that, because you have to be able to go in and create some chaos for the Tahm Kench and everyone else to start coming in. I don't like Splice's comp. I think it's just picking up, like they kind of got outdrafted there. They almost like, as red side, your first 2 picks need to either be taking things off the table or they need to be reacting to what they're looking to build. So if the Tahm Kench is up and they're wanting to first pick that Corki, I think you go Tam Braum, because you completely take away the ability for them to counter. And that's why I like the Janna, but I think with the Elise it's not so good. So I think if you go like Elise full DPS and go for a Braum, that's a better rounded team comp in my opinion. But I mean, Janna's really good with Forgiven because he's such a good trader in lane. Like as a player, I think Janna suits him like a lot better than some of the other players. God, probably small. Never realised that before. So if we just skip it forward here, learning the macros for that VLC player, boys. So let's just go from here. So I'm trying out something with my mic. I'm trying to build something that's a couple of $100, and I built it for maybe €5 or something. So tell me how it sounds, the audio, and if there's any improvement, because this thing's been cheap to make, so it's not that bad. I'm looking to do other things for my audio. So anyway, looking into the game, H2K are wanting to do the standard H2K thing of playing around objectives but doing it once Corki has his power spike. And this is why, personally, I think if anyone's looking for poke comp, you need to take away the Braum. You need to take away Braum, you need to take Braum, and you need to take away Tahm Kench if it's on the table. Because Tahm Kench, in my opinion, is the quickest scaling tank in the game, because it's like Mundo, but like Mundo on crack. Because Mundo before would need like Spirit's Visage, and he could kind of tank a lot of stuff with his ult up. Tahm Kench is like, I got a Giant's Belt, you can't kill me, because I've got 2 health balls. So, I just think like, I don't really like the draft from Splice, which is a real shame, because I don't know if it's the analytics team or if it's what do you call him, Yamato Cannon himself. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because he had a really good draft on Rockout when he was head coach, and I don't know where it's gone. So they both do level 1 camp. I wish they'd shown me, because I really need to learn how to do that better. Something I lack knowledge of and I need to improve. So Splice, I mean, they both got double ranged. That's why the Bard was a really good answer to the Janna. Has some, he has kind of a bit of everything. Bard's a really nice kind of, it's a bit like a Thresh in that respect, like a ranged kind of caster Thresh. So they're just looking to trade and poke and farm here. Lucian will be looking to win the lane and shove it in as much as he can, because of that's a really nice trade. Wow. He's looking to shove it in and trade a lot. because what is it? Because Ezreal's really bad at pushing in waves, and he's really bad at basically like kind of wave clearing. So if you're up against an Ezreal in solo queue, play something that has easy push and easy wave clear with good disengage, like a Tristana. Tristana's very good into Ezreal. I mean, I know I'm not talking about like kind of what they should have picked. I'm just saying like if you're in solo queue and you don't really know, I think Tristana, like if you can learn how to use her jump properly in position, you can play Tristana. Like it's not a hard carry to play. He just lacks so much wave clear, Ezreal. It's why I don't like it into this team comp. So Elise is going to look to snowball the bot side because the top lane's a farm palooza. Wow, that was amazing, Cocoon. Unless he was just going to check the brush. Good trades there, but that's what I mean. That's the power of Lucian. Jankos needs to be careful there. Okay, so he's just getting as much farm as he can. This is, I think, personally, I would have preferred the Rek'Sai into H2K's comp. I know I say that every game, but basically, like, you just want it. Like, they're gonna push them in. You're never gonna get a gank off because H2K are just gonna push in Splice like over and over and over again. You're never gonna be able to get a gank off, but you have to hug that bot side. So if you just completely ward up that side and just be Rek'Sai and just see everything coming, you kind of make the jungler go to the top lane. Which, if you ward it up for your Tahm Kench, you kind of completely nullify the Graves. Who, if he doesn't really snowball, he doesn't really kind of. Yeah, eat him, do it. Right, so Tahm Kench's got the early advantage here. Oh man, that 1 HP CS. So both junglers are just looking to farm up. Mid lane's looking to farm up. Top lane's looking to farm. Both be farmed. And the bot lane, the Lucian's just going to look to push in the Ezreal just all the time. If I was, I know it's not his style, but personally, I'd take the mana regen talent for this. If you're just looking to shove and shove and shove, like the mana regen talent's actually pretty good on certain non-caster AD carries. It's pretty nice on things like Lucian and Corki. I've been trying it out a little bit. It's pretty nice. I like it on Jhin as well, because he's pretty mana hungry and he needs to use his spells a lot more than usual. So Jankos coming in for a lane gank. Graves is on bot side. Wow, that was terrible. I don't really like that ward because it's so easily spotted. I think if you can ward almost away from that, like you can ward it and see someone doing that jungle camp. I think Rock's Tigers have a really nice position for that, if I'm not mistaken, where it's near like the red buff wall, but like a bit far away, so you can see everyone going towards that, but you never actually like ping the thing, the buff you get from it, because every jungler is going to smite their own jungle camp there. I mean, yeah. Forgive them, boys. Great trading there. Just if you ever want to learn Lucian, go watch and like learn the intricacies of Lucian's kit. Go watch Forgiven play Lucian. It's like from spring last year and things. It's a really great like champion. He's just so proficient on it. So in comes Jankos. Will he get it? No, he's dead. Okay. So he just went a bit too aggressive there. I mean, Corki should base and get a Sheen now. He should have a Sheen. He needs to watch out for this Graves, but he's just shoving it in to deny the Ares and farm. Always shoving your lanes if you can. You deny about 5-6 creeps, and you basically get denied nothing. So, Lucian backs for a BF sword longsword, going for his Essence Reaver. This is probably the yeah, so he gets Sheen hit. Like, it's a nice base for Ezreal, and he's going to be able to long range farm, but he's going to get shoved in, and he's going to lose CS. I don't think you do that if you're Jankos. I think you just say, right, we pressured the lane enough. It's fine. Did Ari burn flash as well? You got Ari's flash. Like, why do you need to go that ham? I don't understand. So anyway, so they're going to give the blue buff to Corki. Corki's just going to push out that mid lane, boys. So Odoamne looking to trade, gets out trade. So they've rotated this support up to the top lane. They haven't seen him in bot, so Odoamne knows this. They will have communicated that, so they're just looking to rotate that around. I really miss Ryu on this lineup. Like, I think Selfie's doing well, but Ryu just adds that little kind of like that what the French would call I don't know what. So this is what I mean. Like, this is what the Janna gives immense disengage to the bot lane that Lucian's just looking to shove in. So yeah. Precisely. I think H2K from now on are almost have to ban Kalista, because I don't think Forgiven's willing to play it as a champion. I remember listening to, like, I think Yankos talk about it on Summoning Insight. Like, he just doesn't rate it as a champion and he thinks it's terrible and he won't play it, and it's pretty bad for probably the mechanically best AD carry in the West. So yeah. So they basically have to ban that every game. So who's got the most wards on the map? It is... I like H2K's River Vision. They've got nice defensive pink wards into the entrances, while Splice really don't. They need to invest more money into pink wards. Good dodge there, and he gets blown up. That's a really good Bard ult as well. Well played there by Splice. So, I mean, Ezreal's doing well into this matchup. He's playing Ezreal quite well into this matchup, but Ezreal will just keep getting shoved in, like perpetually shoved in. And Tahm Kench. Yeah, it's just the power of Tahm Kench. Eden! Good. Oh wow, that was a poor flash. I thought he flashed and got away from that. He flashed right into the tip of the tongue lash. Wow. But he can make plays like that because they've got defensive pink wards going into the river, in and around the area. So yeah, that's a really bold move by the Corki there, bloody hell. And it pays off, wow. Holy moly. So, it's going to be Runic Echoes Elise. Again, not really a fan, but yeah. So, they're looking to get this tower down. They'll look to rotate, or will they look to get the Tier 2. I mean, they've got pressure on the Tier 2. You might as well pressure the Tier 2 while you're here. It's a smart move to do this. Corki needs to play safe now, and he needs to just keep... Yeah, it's a stupid thing to do. He's going to 1v1 him. Wow. Rip Ari. I think if you're Ari there, you're happy with the flash trade and just back off. Like, you could have done that if you played it better, but it's just... Like, the Elise is going to come, you don't have vision for that. I don't agree with that play. I think that's a pretty bad play. You haven't got the vision control to be able to make a play like that. Oh, that was close. So H2K want to now either, yeah, they're rotating Forgiven up to the top lane, and they're just going to want to take this. They're going to do exactly the same thing, and this is why I don't like the Ezreal pick, especially into something like a Graves or a sorry, not Graves, a Lucian or a Corki, or like pretty much anything that has wave clear or can bully him. So literally every lane. He's just too weak, and he's just so. Like, especially with the proficiency of Essence Reaver now, you can just get all your mana back. Like, you can just shove him in, like, all day. And the power of that 1.5% missing mana, like you can take that and just shove him in constantly if you've got something like a Janna or a Braum for the mad disengage. So a support I'd like to see come back is actually Annie. And the reason for this is, I think, like, especially with Janna coming back, the way you blow Janna up is you just drop something on her head and blow her up. Like, she can disengage you a bit, but if you just all in her, it's a bit hard. You either poke or you do something, and Janna can stand so far back she can just not get poked, really. And yeah, you just like, but the reason I'd like to see Annie is like to beat these kind of siege comps, you need something that just blows people up and can just start a fight, like hard engage, like flanks and hard engage. And I think Annie's pretty good at that, and I think like she could make her way back in. Especially with how quick the game is because it's not going to like 40-45 minutes anymore, the games, like they're going around 30. She's still like relatively okay damage. I think like she could do alright, especially with Spooky Ghosts. I'm surprised we didn't see much more Annie, especially when she was so strong with the Spooky Ghosts. Unless there's just something I completely missed about Annie and she actually got like some huge ass nerf, but I don't really remember her getting that. So yeah. Okay. So Corky doing Corky things. They're just going to wait for his Triforce, and then they're going to they're basically just going to they're going to try and get this, and if they can't get this, they'll just come mid now. They'll just rotate mid. It's like, I really need to watch more H2K games to work out how they play the macro game so well. It's something that I'm really interested in, and something I see on there was a post yesterday on Reddit which was like, you know, oh, the games are boring. I don't think they're boring. I think they're really intricate and a really nice chess game. I think there's a lot to be learned, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that's not just like, oh my god, look at someone mispositioning and then getting a triple kill, that you see a lot. So I like this style of league. I like the Korean style of League of Legends. I need to watch more Korea, and I need to start doing VOD reviews of that. But yeah, so anyway, just mental diarrhea there. So they're going to look to come mid now. H2K, they have to basically, they've got Triforce, they're just going to come mid. I would have preferred the Sork shoes on the Corky, just to enhance his wave clear and his poke, so they can get people off the tower. Like, they have enough tower damage with a Corky Lucian. I'm forgetting names today, I'm so forgetful. Anyway, what's happening? So who's got the water? So you can obviously see from the map that H2K, even though they're winning, they still have great river defensive wards. So there's no like moves Splice can make here. They just don't have enough vision, and they're not prioritizing vision enough. So they're basically having to burn everything on wave clear though, which an H2K just don't have to, and they can just 4-1 this. I mean, this is it's a real problem when you're initially, like, this is why I don't like the Ezreal pick, and I think something like a Varus or a Sivir is a lot better, because if your Ahri's looking to go for the 3-1, the 1-3-1 with the Poppy in the top lane, you have to have an AD carry that can wave clear, because the Graves is just losing so much by being here. But if you've got a Sivir in there, you can go 2 into the mid lane with the Graves kind of hovering about, taking farm and warding. So let's hit the dragon here. This is really nice for poke comps to get this dragon. I think they should have got it earlier, but you know, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Split push AD carry, yeah. No, but that shouldn't happen. They should have Forgiven there instead of Oda Wamne. And they should be able to get the tower, so they got the tower. I mean, this is why I don't like the full AP Elise, because she can really only just kind of do some damage when someone overextends or gets CC'd, but there's no one on the team to be able to really CC them. So, yeah. Ooh, they get the tank hench. Somehow Forgiven's pushing top lane. Somehow. It's really bad macro play by Splice. They're just getting played around the map. Don't ever play yourself. So, now they have to answer. But they got the mid tower, H2K, so now this kind of unlocks the map for them. I don't think you can give H2K the Corki anymore. They play so well around it. It's probably their best champion, I'd say, because they flex it so well into mid or AD carry, and then they can then play, like, it fits. Not only can they play it really well, but it fits their style so well. So it's a real problem. I know he's getting nerfed, and his initial damage is getting nerfed, but it still doesn't stop what he brings to the team, if that makes sense. He's still like an absolute beast into the mid lane and the AD carry. Like, he'll still bully people. They haven't nerfed him enough to throw him out, so I still think Corki's going to be such a vital pick into the next tab patch. Yeah, so H2K have basically, the joy of this kind of double AD carry comp with such a strong AD carry and such a great siege AD carry is you can rotate your support into the mid lane and they can basically just do exactly the same job, but with something that's better at shoving. It's a really nice kind of thing about this meta. I really like this meta, especially with towers being so kind of the only focal point of the game at the moment, with Herald and 2 and 4 dragons being so bad. So I really think teams need to prioritise wave clear a lot more as well. They look for like the 1v1s and things, and they really need to look for like just stalling out games if they go behind, especially against these quote-unquote better teams. Like H2K is a better team than Splice. I think here you have to go something like Sivir Victor with the Graves, and you basically just stall out the game. I think you go Braum Sivir Victor, and you basically just stall the hell out of this game. Heck, you could even go Yasuo for the mega stall. Like, go Yasuo AD carry, yeah, let's do it. It's just win wall and Braum shield everything. That could be actually some legitimate strategy into the Corki. Pick Yasuo mid, take, I don't know, but just like Braum support Yasuo mid or top, and just go, hell yeah, let's like win wall all the things. Like where your AP or your wave clear would come from, I have no idea, but that's not for me to work out. I'm just, I'm one of those people that goes on threads and just says something random with no contextual evidence. Not even contextual evidence, yeah. So H2K have got the second thing, and now they're going to look to probably do Baron. This is why I don't really like the Ahri pickup. I think with I think players need to learn that like there's a time and a place for these sort of 1-3-1 setups. I don't think if they're picking Corki you can do this with your mid laner, especially with such a low wave clear AD carry like Ezreal. You need to just basically say, I'm going to sit in mid lane and wave clear and just maybe make a pick every now and again, but you can't, because that, I mean, this is what I mean, like they've just got no answer. Look at, like, you saw how quickly they shredded through a wave like H2K, and now they have to sit there and go like Q with Ezreal. So I mean, it's a real problem. You need to take the you have to take the what do you call it, the Victor or something there. Like, you need wave clear, and they're not using the Ahri for wave clear, which, I mean, she can be alright at that, but she's just never going to be a Victor. Here comes the Poppy, but they haven't got wards enough for flank. What the hell is that Poppy doing? Yeah, they just don't have the wards to be able to do that. This is, if you want to break a siege, you need to have the wards to be able to break the siege, and this is just an absolute clusterfuck from Splice. I have no idea how to play against this comp. That guy's excited. So they're going to look to do the Baron here. This is the perfect time to do the Baron. Selfie's too far forward, I'm going to get picked. Really poor positioning there, probably communication error. I mean, they're still like a person up, and Ari's just got no HP, and they've just got a mega tank. Okay, so that's a really good ult. Wow. Yeah, get them right off that position there. Take away the Ezreal's chance of stealing. Okay, well done. So they really nicely take the. There's a really good ult there to stop the attempt of disrupting the Baron. And Corki's just got some huge power spike at the moment, so they really need to capitalise on this, and they need to. They're going to look to 1-3-1 a little bit with the Lucian. I really think they should just 4-1 and just decide, like, they should just go full bot because the dragon's there, one in the top lane or mid lane at least with a Tahm Kench who can just ult or TP down depending on how quickly you need him, how far away he is. And yeah, I just think that at that point you do that. Because the next dragon, you never want to go for second dragon, but you want to take second dragon to deny their first dragon and to prioritize getting the third dragon. People seem to think it's useless. It's not a priority, but it's a denial more than anything. So it's very important to do that. So, I mean, this is, like, the priority on the Poppy here was really stupid to me. Like, the more I've thought about it in terms of the draft, because as the game's played out, you've seen that the Tahm Kench can just bully the Poppy. And kind of, how to put it, like, you don't, like, your Poppy is your split. Like, the way you counter this is you basically have a split pusher who can never be pushed off of a wave, right? So you counter that, because they're going to look to 1-4, and if they can't, then you engage on top of them. And Poppy's good for that, but she can't split push against the Lucian, and she can't split push against the Tahm Kench. So you need to take the Tahm Kench away, and that way you can 1-4, and you just take a wave clear mid, and you let your Graves and your Ezreal kind of poke and dance around the fight, and you stall out the game long enough to be able to get a pick. And they've just decided to go for this kind of wonky comp that doesn't really do much of anything. And now Tahm Kench. See, that's what I mean. The Poppy can't fight the Tahm Kench, so they end up losing a top tower. But they had the chance. They took. I mean, like, H2K took its second rotation. They put too much priority on the Graves, I think, Splice. Like, I really don't think it's as strong as a pick as people make it out to be. I think it is a strong pick, but it's not as strong as people make it out to be. I definitely don't think it's like that strong, especially without the second tank into the support role and the wave clip. Like, I think Graves, you basically make Graves one of your carry, and your mid laner has to be a little bitch at that point. Like, your mid laner has to just take the dick for the team. Like, your mid laner just has to play Victor or Lulu or something, like, and you just sit there and go, lol, wave clear, okay, buff up people. Because that's what picking the Graves into the jungle does, is it basically makes it so you have to have a supporty mid laner, which is okay. Like, if that's the way you're going to go, that's fine, but then don't take something like an Ahri that wants to split push. So they can just crumble the towers here. They've got, like, I mean, if you look at the vision on the map, Splice have like 3 wards, and none of them are around the area that they're fighting. So it's really nice macro play here by H2K. What they've done is they've basically just snuffed out all the vision Splice could ever put down, vision denial, and they've basically just completely and utterly strangled out the game from that point. They can just base here, like, they just need to come and take the mid inhibitor and push lanes up now. And Splice, in my opinion, don't have enough wave clear to deal with it. So 4k gold, that's not bad, that's pretty even. I think 3.5 is pretty average, but I mean, they take a lot of what do you call it? They took a lot of inhibs and stuff which don't really give much gold. I think the inner turrets give like 50 gold or something ridiculously small like that. It's pretty mad. 50 gold a person. So I mean, they if they had taken any more tier 2s, that would have been huge. But yeah, I mean, I just don't like this Ezreal pick. I just don't like. You can see the frailties of it. They just can't wave clear with it, and they just got slowly ground down. I don't understand why teams have stopped picking Trundle and why teams have stopped picking Zone. Like, well, Korea does this a lot. They pick a lot of Zone, and it's countering the Siege quite well, in my opinion. These kind of tanky anti-siege comps with like you know, you've got like, you know, you've kind of got something like, let's go for an example of Braum, Victor. Let's have a thing here. So you got like Braum, Victor. Let's say we could go the top lane. No, let's not go for Braum. Let's go like Trundle, Victor, and then you've got like enough like wave clear there already. You've got loads of zone control. I'll just pause that here because the game's over, because there was nothing really to talk about there. It's just them grinding out the match. So I mean, I think teams need to look into zone control a lot more, because this is how if you push people off a tower, they can't come to it. If you put a gravity field down around where they're going to stand, they either stand in the gravity field or you can just wave clear it. Like, it just gives you the pressure alleviation that these teams put down with the Corki. So I don't really like the draft. I don't like the strategy. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Maybe not, maybe, but I'll try and get another daily VOD review out. But definitely Monday I'll have one out. So please like, rate, subscribe, comment down below on what you'd like to see, any games you'd like to see. If you'd like more NA, more Korea, more EU, please, you know, go ahead. I should have some video out today or tomorrow, a big one about Jhin again. So please look out for that. And also, I should be having another video out to do with the state of my channel and what I'm looking to do with that. So please, like, look out for those and do all the stuff. Have a nice day, and I hope to see you around. Bye now.